What is your ask of us as the next generation of leaders? What is your ask of us, knowing where we're at, knowing the failures of those who have taken power, and having given your life to the freedom that we have? What do you ask of us to do?
Make it better. Make sure that you advance the cause. What is the cause? Education. The best gift you, me, you will ever leave our children is for them to be educated. Not money, trust fund, not car, not material things. Education. Because with education, they are able to become meaningful citizens who can contribute to move this country forward. I'm going to give an example. There is a village in Mthatha. That village, they are so poverty stricken. It looks so hopeful, hopeless. And they are just going about their daily life, putting things together. With the hope that one day is one day, Then they take the children to school. And these children go to walk 10, 15, 20 kilometers to get to school and back again. So these children, they woke up at 2, 3 in the morning to prepare this journey. And by the time they get home, it's already dark. But you see, out of that darkness, there is that hope that one of these children is going to make it. It's going to be a doctor, because when you look around, there is no clinic. Or it's going to be a lawyer, because people don't get represented. Or it's going to be a scientist, or whatever, engineer. And then there will be running toilets and everything there, Now imagine if 5 or 10 of these kids, they go and get that education and they come back to that place in Mthatha and they transform it. That's what we South Africans need to work on, to make sure that our children, they get educated. You should be leaders that transform the economy of this country. Because what is education going to help you if you find an economy that is breeding jobs, that does not give you an opportunity to be creative, that does not give you an opportunity to contribute? So you guys, you have that responsibility to make sure that we've got those entrepreneurs, we've got the Steve Jobs, we've got those, Motsepe, our own president, can be a paper millionaire, but he's still a millionaire, and because our kids, they need to be inspired by somebody. And that inspiration will then make them focus. So, in prison, we had this system. We never elected anybody, by the way. No one. We always said Mandela was the first among equals. All right. So, what we did was, we look at you, Neil. We observe you, Neil. How you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself, the contribution, the inputs you make, if you into sport, your passions and everything. And then when it comes to giving a task, We now want to enhance those qualities that we've seen in you. We give you responsibilities. You see? Because we were doing this in prison with the eye in the future. To say, we are making a leader out of you that will then be able to organize, to galvanize, to rally people, to inspire. That was our purpose of being in that prison. Not to sit and wait for the sentence to finish. So you guys, you have these programs with Neil that must look at that potential and see how they unleash it to the world. I liked what you just told me about what you do with those communities out there. That's leadership. That's what is expected of all of us. Lastly, on this, we must develop the culture of volunteering. South African kids don't volunteer. They must be able to say, it is going to be the holidays, and I'm going to spend 2 weeks of my time giving it to a good cause. That's how you also develop leadership. That's how also you are able to bring an impact to others. Go to an orphanage. Go and wash the dishes there. You know? Go and tend to the wounded. If you are a good accountant, go and look into the books of the people there. Make sure that their things are in order. That's why I always tell the kids. So, we must develop that culture. In the olden days, we had this thing called the Boys and Girl Scouts. I think we should bring it back. You know, not everything about the old is bad. We just have to enhance it, and it must be for all, you know, and run with it. So that's what I expect from this generation. We have fought the fight. Now they must carry the torch and light the way. That's what they must do, you know, and make sure that flame, it becomes a hope for all the kids in South Africa, around the world. We must never, ever, ever stand with dictatorship, with those people who become presidents for life. Because remember, being president of a country is a service to your nation. You serve, you go. Because no president has all the solutions. The next one comes, he makes a contribution, he goes. We must never ever have this thing of people overstaying their welcome in power. Because it contributes to all these conflicts that we have, especially here in Africa. Zimbabwe is a classic example of that. Swaziland is another example of that. Because when you give people a say, you empower them. You know? They become what you just talked to me about, active citizens. But if you shut them out, how are they going to become active citizens and participate in the determination of their own lives? So, we in Africa, we are sick. And the sickness, look, guys, I'm glad that you have this program. I'm being honest with you. I'm glad you've got, your a political academy, even though I was not happy with the weight, but never mind that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've got those kind of things. For one reason, my generation and that one that came before me and the other one, if you look at this generation, it's a generation of dictatorship, of patriarchy, of people who don't value women, their contribution, who abuse women, and so forth and so forth. So, you must be a generation that is different, that understands the concept of inclusivity, that understands that we are individuals in a collective. We all bring our different strengths and weaknesses in this collective, because that's the only way we can survive. Malema and his people, they can shout until they are blue, but that will not change the discourse in this country. It's engagement that will change the discourse, that will make this country move forward. So thank you guys for inviting me to spend some time with you, and I wish you all the best.